Hi everyone, this is Ashmita from Saurav's classes. Now today's question that would be discussed is what does philosophy of language have to learn from psychology? Now yes, this kind of question came in the philosophy 2 paper, and the philosophy of language can benefit significantly from insights which are drawn from psychology in various ways. Now before moving over to the discussion in what ways does it have to learn from psychology subject, let me tell you that if you are preparing for any kind of government exams or if you are preparing for any kind of competitive exams, then you can join our classes for better preparation. Here you're going to get expert guidance with live sessions, recorded lectures, portal access would be provided to you. 24/7 lecture access would be provided, portal lectures access. And apart from that, you're going to get doubt clearing sessions, study materials which would be provided to your doorstep. And definitely there would be mock test facilities so that you can test yourself how far you have to prepare yourself, how much you have to prepare yourself. That's it regarding our classes. If you want to know more about it, then you can go over to the description box below this video. You will get all the details over there, contact details as well as website links. Yeah, coming back to the question, now comes the actual discussion. We are going to discuss many points over here through which we can answer this question. The very first one would be language acquisition. I will be writing the names of the points. That is what I'm going to discuss in details. Okay. So points, the name of the points only I'm going to write rather than writing everything, because it's not possible to write everything. So yeah, starting with language acquisition. Psychology as a subject studies how humans acquire knowledge. Not knowledge, rather language. How do humans acquire language? Any kind of language it can be. Which can inform the philosophical discussions about the innate structures of language, the role of experience, and the nature of linguistic universes. So understanding how children will learn the language sheds light on the questions about linguistic competence. Second would be cognitive processes. Now, psychological research on language processing, memory, and cognition can help the philosophers to understand how language is used and comprehended. Now, this includes insights into concepts like mental representation, conceptual frameworks, and cognitive biases that affect the language use and interpretation. So, yeah, that was cognitive. That was the details regarding the cognitive processes. Pragmatics and communication. That would be another base, another reason or another way through which we can know how philosophy of language learns from psychology. So third point of discussion in this class would be pragmatics and communication. Now, psychology investigates the pragmatics of language and how the context influences the communication. So this can provide philosophers with a deeper understanding of implicature, then speech acts, and the role of context in determining the meaning. The next point of discussion would be conceptual semantics. Now, psychology contributes to the study of conceptual semantics by examining how the concepts are structured and related in the human mind. So, this informs the philosophical debates about the nature of meaning and reference. The next point of discussion would be language and thought. Now, the relationship between language and thought is a central topic in both philosophy as well as in psychology. The psychological research on linguistic relativity, cognitive development, and concept formation can provide valuable insights into this relationship. Next would be experimental philosophy. That would be the point that we are going to discuss now, experimental philosophy. Now, experimental philosophy often employs psychological methods to investigate the philosophical questions, including those related to the philosophy of language. Philosophically informed experiments can help the philosophers test and refine their theories. Okay, our next point of discussion would be metaphor and figurative languages. Now, psychology explores how the metaphors and figurative languages are processed and understood by the human brain. This research can inform philosophical discussions about metaphor, about meaning, and the role of figurative language in different thought processes. The next point of discussion would be language disorders. Now, studying language disorders such as aphasia can offer insights into the normal functioning of language and cognition. Philosophers can use such insights to develop theories about language and its role in human understanding. The next point of discussion would be cross-cultural perspectives. Now, psychology often includes the cross-cultural studies which can illuminate the cultural and universal aspects of language and cognition. Now, this is relevant to philosophical debates about linguistic diversity, translation, and meaning. So, summarizing everything, psychology provides empirical evidence and cognitive insights into the nature of language, cognition, and communication. So, the philosophy of language can draw from psychology to develop more empirically grounded and psychologically informed theories about language, about meaning, and the relationship between language and thought. So yeah, that's it for today's class. Let's meet again in the next classes. Thank you for watching and being with me till the end of the class. If you want to prepare well for your competitive examinations, then do join our classes. For that, do check the description box below for more details. Thank you for watching.